Hello everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about how to navigate the sort of quiet periods of this process, and I have another video that I have started talking about this, but I'm talking about this right now because I'm in a quiet period after a lot of emotional turmoil in the last 3 months. So if you are new to me, my name is Lauren, and I am healing my adrenal fatigue and my chronic fatigue by healing my emotional wounds, early childhood wounds. I had some attachment trauma that I have discovered is the root of my illness. And I'm making this channel so that if emotional causes are the root cause for you, or just a contributing cause for you, to help give you the things that I've learned and am learning in this process so that you can heal your body by healing your past. And so today I'm talking about the quiet period. So this whole process of healing, the first step is calming the nervous system. You have to calm the nervous system first, because emotions, old emotions, stagnating emotions that need to move they will stay stagnant. They will not move unless your nervous system is calm. And most people, especially for people with adrenal fatigue, if you have adrenal fatigue, chances are your nervous system has been stuck in a sympathetic state for a long time. And it's a protective mechanism. It's a way of protecting you from feeling these emotions. And I know, because I was there. I was running and running and running without even knowing that these wounds were there for me. I never knew that I had attachment trauma. Never until this illness. This illness is how I discovered it. And it was out of pure desperation, because I ran out of options. I didn't have any options left, and I didn't know how to get better. I heard something that gave me a clue, and I started doing some digging, and I've said this again and again and again, but the month that I started healing the stuff around this core attachment trauma was the month my illness started to improve. The month that I started getting better. Actually moving in the positive direction of healing. Calming the nervous system is what stabilized me and stopped the decline. Healing emotional trauma and wounds and all the stuff that's connected to that from living a lifetime with those wounds is what started me moving forward. And this is my hope for you, because this is especially true for sensitive people. So if you're a sensitive person, but for anybody who has adrenal fatigue, this is worth looking at. So once you've calmed the nervous system and you've started healing the stuff, the old stagnating emotions are going to start coming up. There are a number of ways that these things can manifest and come up, but today I'm going to be talking about the quiet periods. So they come up, so something might come up, and maybe from a trigger. So you get triggered by something, let's say, and it causes a cascade of emotion, or maybe not emotion. Maybe if you have patterns of dissociation and heavy armoring from your child that you learned from your childhood, it could just show up immediately as a symptom. So you get emotionally triggered by something and you don't even realize it. And then your symptoms might get worse and worse and worse. It might be for days, it might be for weeks, it might be for months. And I can speak from experience here that there have been many times, especially in the beginning of learning this process, that I could be stuck in a triggered state for months and not knowing it, and having no idea, why am I getting worse? What is going on? Why am I worse? And then I talk about the trap that's so easy to fall into. It's like, and you run through all the physical things. What are all the physical things, the external things that could have caused me to get worse? And then months down the line, after learning and so much trial and error, I learned finally that when this happens, wait, this has happened before. Is it emotional? Was there an emotional trigger? Was there a trigger? Is there an emotion a stagnated, a repressed emotion that's trying to come up that my unconscious is not letting up. And so my symptoms are getting worse. And 100% of the time that I've experienced in the last 15 months is yes, that's the answer. And so as I've learned this process, and once I'm aware that when symptoms get worse, it's that something emotional is trying to come up, at least for me, that's mine. And if that could be true for you, this is for you. Which reminds me, if this resonates with you, please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and if it really resonates and you want to continue to hear from me, push that bell to get notified anytime I post new content. So this stuff bubbles up, and then, you might get triggered by something. When something's ready to heal, you're going to get triggered. That's why triggers are your gift. They are a gift from your soul, given to you as an opportunity to heal something. When you're triggered, that means you're ready to heal this. Or you're being given an opportunity. You don't have to heal it, but you're being given an opportunity to look at it and start dissecting it, start understanding it, and just being able to see it, recognize what it is, and start thinking about what is it, can I feel this? Try to feel it and accept it, figure out where it came from if you can, because that can, especially if you have patterns of dissociation, that can help dissect and find other layers of this very complicated onion. This is the process. It's unpeeling the layers of this onion. But once you go through that process and you heal whatever part you need to heal that time, and the healing doesn't happen all at once, especially these core wounds, they are part of you because your personality in those first 7 years of life, especially the first 3, 4, your personality was developing. And if you have an attachment trauma or other kind of emotional trauma during that time, it's influencing your entire personality and how it's formed. So this is a very complicated, and so you're not going to heal it all at one time. Something gets triggered, and even if you see that it is and able to feel it, chances are you're not going to be able to heal it all at once. These things, it's an onion. The biggest circle might be the most painful. The first time you hit this wound, the first time you feel it, the first time you heal it as much as you can in that moment. But I can assure you, it's gonna come back again. And so it's so easy, and I've been frustrated by this so many times. It's like, I thought I healed this again. I've spent so much time trying to heal this, and why again? I really thought I had made so much progress with this, but it's because it happens in layers. And so you have to heal the same thing over and over and over again. I don't know how many times it's going to be for you, but it's going to come from different angles. It's going to come from different perspectives. You're going to have a different perspective on that wound at that time. It's going to come up in a different way. There are all kinds of layers, and it's just going to keep coming up until you've healed it completely. So that's a good thing to recognize is true. But then once you've healed it as much as you can, you're going to have a quiet period. And it varies. It varies how long it's going to be. It could be a few days and then something else comes up, or the same thing comes up again. It could be weeks. It could be months. It's whatever your soul decides you're ready for, or I'm not going to pretend to know what the soul has planned or why it's choosing to do certain things. But this is my belief, that your soul is going to give it to you as quickly or slowly as it wants. So you're going to have a quiet period. And my experience is that the quiet periods seem like, from the sound of it, that they'd be nice. And they are nice. But there's also this sort of unnerving feeling of uneasiness. I don't feel right in my skin. I don't know. I feel like I need to do something. I need to hear something. I need to learn something. I need to, maybe this is just me, and that I have this pattern of just want to do, push forward. I want to heal. And it's not really realistic. And part of such a core lesson that I've learned in this process is about letting yourself pull you, not pushing. not pushing yourself forward, but allowing yourself to be pulled. That means being aware of what's happening. So when you get quiet, when you get stillness, when emotions are not coming up, it doesn't mean it's done. It doesn't mean this process is done. It means you're in a quiet period. I listened to Christina Lopes, who talks about spiritual awakenings, and she refers to a quiet period as the void, which I really like that term. So it's like a void period, and it feels very quiet, if you don't know what it is, it's like, it feels like unnerving, unstable. It's like, I want to listen to things. I want to have constant stimulation and get that monkey mind going again. This is where I always go. And if this is true for you, then this video is for you. I want to encourage, because this has come after so many times doing it wrong myself, is trying to distract myself or push myself to heal something else. Listen to your soul. The message that you're getting is this is a time of rest. And you need to rest. Rest for a while and enjoy life a little bit before another wave comes. And so what I've learned, that's generous of me to say about myself, what I am learning, I should say, is that what really improves these phases, these rest phases of this process, is trying to enjoy life a little bit. You know, when you have an illness like this, I don't know if you're like this, but for me, I get all these rules. I make all these rules for myself that I have to do this. I can't watch anything on TV. It's triggering. I have to go to bed at a certain time. I have to get up at a certain time. I have to have these routines. I have to eat this way. And while those things can be true, there's something to be said for lightening up a little bit, just a little. And I don't mean go and eat a bunch of gluten and dairy. I mean, I'm not talking about that. I just mean have a little enjoyment. So for me, the things that I've let loose a little bit, sometimes when I'm in the void, I'll let myself watch a couple comedy things at night. That used to be a trigger for me. That used to be, I shouldn't say a trigger, but an addictive behavior that I had. And so I couldn't do it for many years, and it was really wreaking havoc on my adrenals. But now that I've healed enough, some humor in my life, I'm noticing, is really important. So try to get some humor. I would say singing is extremely beneficial. It opens your throat chakra, which is the connection between your heart and your mind. If you think about it, it's like a funnel here. And so singing in the shower, singing in the car can be really beneficial. Make sure you're singing, maybe dancing. I love dancing, but only when I'm feeling certain ways. When I'm feeling really ill, no way am I going to dance. No way. But during these void periods, try to let this idea in that maybe some more fun. Let me just put on some music and just see how I feel. Maybe some dancing will come, and whatever kind of dancing you want. Just let your body move. Just move your body. Move your body and sing. Sing it. It doesn't matter how you sound. Sing like nobody can hear, not even yourself. It's just you're just belting out you're opening your throat chakra. That's what you're just trying to open this, and having fun. And I know from experience that when you have this illness, it's really, really, really hard to have fun. At least that's how I found, because when you feel so terrible, so miserable, and you get stuck in these routines and obsessing, this is me, but obsessing about things you have to do, things the way you have to be, the fun kind of goes to the wayside. But these void periods, these rest periods, are perfect opportunities when you're not having the worst of your symptoms. You can go out for walks, get out in nature, you can go and sit next to a tree. Nature is and grounding, putting your feet on the ground. These practices that are so hard to do when your symptoms are awful, when you're feeling miserable and exhausted and in pain. These rest periods are the perfect times to do these things. Listen to some things that are fun. You know, I get caught up into always seeking answers, information, something that'll help me learn and heal. And that's great. But it has to be moderated. It has to be, or I should say modulated. It should be done to an extent, but you also have to have this other side of play and fun. And don't get me wrong, this is hard. This is hard, and it's taken me a long time to develop an ability to do this, but just try. Even if it doesn't bring a smile to your face, and practicing gratitude, oh man, practicing gratitude through this whole illness is key and so important. The smallest things, gratitude for the smallest things, just to have a wonderful bed to sleep in, to have the roof over your head, to have the people around you, to have anything that you can think of, the green trees behind you, anything that you have. All right, scene change. I had to run and go pick up my son from school, so I'm gonna continue on the go. But just to wrap things up, I was talking about the importance of trying to find things that you gain enjoyment in. You know, nature is such, nature is your friend in this process. To be amongst trees and just the fresh air and the sky is so important in this process. And if you're really sick, if you have severe adrenal fatigue, you might be limited in how much sun exposure you can have. Sun exposure can be stressful on the adrenals if it's too much. So just, be careful about that, but make sure but fresh air, you can't get enough fresh air. I mean, fresh air is never gonna harm you in any way. So even if you can just open your window or just look outside, anything that you can do to bring the outdoors indoors, grounding, earthing, putting your feet on the ground, your body on the ground is so beneficial. I have a grounding mat that I sleep on. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know if it makes a difference or not. It just does not feel like, when I go outside and put my feet on the ground, I can feel the difference in my physiology after about 10 minutes, especially if I've had a lot of EMF exposure. I can actually feel, if I go outside and I put my feet on the ground for at least 10-15 minutes, I can actually feel the difference. It really helps. It really helps calm the body after being penetrated by a lot of EMFs. If I've been at the computer all day or something, or like on an airplane, oh boy, airplanes are just like, any kind of flying travel is really just EMF crazy. So putting your body on the ground in some way for as long as you can, but at least 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes can really help. So I'm just trying to reiterate, just as much contact with nature as you can get is really important. But if you have relationships where you just laugh every time you're with that person, maybe during these void rest periods, maybe that's a good time to go see those people and just laugh and laugh and laugh. My life needs some more laughter, but so I mean, I'm working on this stuff too. What I love to do during these periods are sing and dance, and I find that those are really hard to do when I'm feeling like crap. I try to force myself to sing anyway, but it's hard to force yourself to dance. I mean, I don't know if you've tried to force yourself to dance, but it's tough. I can't really do it at all. So whatever you can do, I'm just really trying to put away, like, just take away this, when you're in a rest period, give your body a rest, give your brain a rest. Oh my gosh. One of the most important things to do during these rest periods that I cannot forget is to have silence. To have periods of quiet and silence. And what I was saying earlier, my tendency, my sort of yearning when these periods come is like, I feel uncomfortable and I just want to make noise in my head. I want to listen to podcasts. I want to watch YouTube videos and just like try to take in information, learn, and things that make me trying to make me feel good in some other way. But it's such an important thing, and part of the nature thing is connection with the universe. And so quiet time and meditating, and if you can't meditate, just close your eyes, put an eye mask on or a pillow over your face, and contemplate. Just think and think and think and think and think. Not about stressful thoughts. But you can just, if you can't meditate right now, then just let yourself think. Let the mind run, as long as you keep it in the direction of positivity and constructive thoughts. You can do meditations where you are picturing balls of light or light coming in through your head. You can just do breathing exercises. You could just have silence where there's no music. There's no like, a meditation that you have playing. It's just silence. Maybe a sound machine or something with white noise, a fan running, and just quiet. Your door's closed, you're alone. And give yourself that to really cultivate these spiritual practices, these practices of connecting to yourself during these periods. And you need to be doing them. It's so important to be doing these things when you're in a triggered state too. But I think I have felt compelled to do them. Like, I need it, and I can't get through the rest of this day unless I do it. So many times I'm in a triggered place, and I'm so exhausted, I'm out of breath just from sitting. And if you have adrenal fatigue, you know what that feels like. That just getting into the bed causes shortness of breath, and it's just like you're just trying to get air. It's easy to be pulled to the bed to do these practices when you're feeling like crap and you can't get through the day. But I'm just saying it's also super important to be doing these also when you're feeling good, when you're feeling better, when you're not in turmoil, when your symptoms are not as bad. Still cultivating, and you might not need to do it as much, but still connecting to your internal self is so crucial. It's so helpful to cultivate peace, inner peace. What you really are trying to do is, during this void or rest period, is cultivating inner peace, because inner peace, it opens you up. When you feel inner peace, you can open up, and your heart opens, your throat opens. It's like you start to feel alive. You start to sort of get raised up and see the beauty in the process, the beauty in the world and the universe, and those kinds of emotions that cultivate gratitude and love and appreciation are healing emotions. So you want to cultivate those as much as you possibly can. So that's what I have for today, and I hope this was helpful, and I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you on the next one. All right, bye.